battlefield lay quiet now, the sky a golden flame, and Muro and I knelt in silence as the children spoke God's name. Their tiny hands were folded, their trembling hearts were still, and heaven bent to listen as they whispered, Lord, thy will. For prayer is more than pleading, it's the armor of the soul. And those who kneel before the Lord shall stand through any storm. The warrior who bowed first, so he knelt beside the daughters of the people he'd defend, laid his weapons in the dust to call upon a friend. For the mightiest hearts are humble when the Spirit whispers, stay. And Zion found her courage when Muro and I learned to pray. Oh, Captain, blessed Captain, kneeling in the dust that day, teach our homes, teach our children how to fight the righteous way.
A captain's quiet strength, his armor bore the scars of war. His voice was soft with grace, yet in his eyes the fire burned of one who'd seen God's face. He prayed for them, for all his land,
for every trembling home, for mothers in their worry, for fathers gone to war. For God redeems the faithful, he hears the pure in heart, and every prayer of innocence will tear the dark apart. The warrior who bowed first, so he knelt beside the daughters of the people he'd defend, laid his weapons in the dust to call upon a friend. For the mightiest hearts are humbled when the Spirit whispers, stay. And Zion found her courage when Muro and I learned to pray. Oh, Captain, blessed Captain, kneeling in the dust that day, teach our homes, teach our children how to fight the righteous way. The sun said covenant, the heavens glowed with promise as their voices rose in light. Lord, keep thy people in thy care and guard them through the night.
A captain and 3 children, a prayer swept through the land.
And angels stood to answer when they said, thy will be done. Zion's prayer still echoes, so he knelt beside the helpless and became their shield of faith, a warrior forged in obedience, a defender shaped by grace. And those centuries have vanished, his example lights our way, for homes are saved and nations rise when captains learn to pray. Oh, Muro and I, mighty Captain, teach our hearts to kneel today,
Till every fear and every foe
is swept in prayer away. Shelter in the storm, the night was cold and heavy, and the rain began to pour. A mother held her child close, weary, shivering on the floor. A broken bus stop sign above them, city lights blurred in their tears, when a shadow moved beside them, strong and ancient through the years. He held no sword of battle, yet his armor gleamed with grace, as Captain Moroni lifted an umbrella into place. In the Every soul deserves a refuge, every heart deserves a rest. And the rain fell like a witness to the love he came to give. For the warrior God remembers is the one who helps us live. When heaven sends a warrior, oh Moroni, mighty captain, you still rise when hope grows thin. For the God who shaped your courage still sends you where hearts give in. When the world is cold and ruthless, you bring shelter from the storm. And the warrior who stands for mercy keeps the weary souls from harm. Oh, the warrior who stood in the rain, kept a mother's child warm. Lessons from his life teach us courage born of kindness, teach us strength that comes through love, teach us hearts that break for others like the captain's heart above. Teach us service in the shadows, teach us refuge in the night. Teach us how a simple moment turns a battlefield to light. For the greatest acts of warriors aren't the battles they have won, but the souls they lift with mercy when their strength helps carry one. The protector of the poor, oh Moroni, chosen captain, still your legacy remains. Not just in war or triumphs, but in sheltering the strained. May we stand as you have stood, with compassion in our hand. For the warrior who guards the helpless is the one the Lord commands. Oh, the warrior who stood in the rain was the angel he had planned. Rainfall of mercy, so we'll lift umbrellas heavenward when the storms of life descend. For the God who strengthened Moroni makes all protectors his friends. A hero in dust and light, the sun poured gold on a weary land, and dust rose under hooves as Moroni rode through humble streets where covenant children moved, their eyes lit up with wonder, their laughter filled the air. For the captain who defended them had finally returned from prayer. For a warrior's greatest triumph is the peace his courage brings, and the safest hearts in Zion are the children under his wings. When courage came riding home, so they ran to Captain Moroni with their arms stretched to the sky. For they knew the Lord had sent him when their fathers dared to cry, and his banner rode beside him and his heart burned clean and true. Oh, Moroni, mighty captain, teach us strength the way you do. Let our homes, let our nations feel the God that carried you. A defender of little ones, his armor bore the marks of war, his brow the cost of peace, yet the gentleness within his gaze made every child feel released. He lived so hell could tremble, but so children need not fear. His battles carved out safety for the ones he held most dear. For the Lord redeems his people, and the pure in heart he lifts. Every hero God has chosen brings his people heaven's gifts. When courage came riding home, so they ran to Captain Moroni with their arms stretched to the sky. For they knew the Lord had sent him when their fathers dared to cry, and his banner rode beside him and his heart burned clean and true. carried you. The title of liberty lives here. He raised his voice above the crowd. Children, trust in Christ alone. He is the light that guides your feet, the King upon his throne. And mothers wept with gratitude as heaven softly shone, for they saw in him a warrior who had made their safety known. Fight no more, na na, la 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 na na la 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 la. The reunion at sunset, so they ran, a generation saved by one man's sacred stand. A defender sent from heaven, a protector in God's hand. And though the centuries have faded, still his legacy rings true. Oh, Molo and I, blessed a captain, let our children run to you. Let our courage rise like fire, let our covenant hearts renew, till the world sees Christ within us, as the children saw in you. That evening prayer, the night was slowly falling, and the streetlights flickered on. An old woman stood there, trembling with her strength near almost gone. Her tired hands were shaking as the cars rushed coldly by, and her whispered plea to heaven rose like incense through the sky. Then a soldier stepped in silence with a purpose heaven gave. Captain Moroni, I kneeled beside her like the answer that she prayed. He had fought in storms and warfare, he had led through fire and night, but the greatest of his battles was to simply choose the right. When a warrior learns to kneel, oh Moroni, mighty captain, how your courage lights the land. Not in war or mighty thunder, but in kindness done by hand. When you knelt beside the roadside, helping one the world forgot, God remembered every promise, every covenant you fought. For the warrior who learns to kneel shows the power heaven taught. Strength in gentle hands, he turned the bolt with reverence as the stars began to rise, and the woman watched in silence with tears filling both her eyes. For this man of ancient armor, this defender of the free, stooped to help her in the twilight with a grace she'd never see. He spoke softly, you are precious, and the Lord knows where you stand. And she felt her fear dissolve there in the shelter of his hands. For the bravest hearts show mercy, and the strongest ones are kind, and the warriors God remembers are the ones who heal mankind. When a warrior learns to kneel, oh Moroni, mighty captain, how your courage lights the land. Not in war or mighty thunder, but in kindness done by hand. When you knelt beside the roadside, helping one the world forgot, God remembered every promise, every covenant you fought. For the warrior who learns to kneel shows the power heaven taught. righteous warriors is the kindness they restore, and the Lord exalts the servant far above the battle's roar. The kneeling defender, oh Moroni, chosen captain, still your footsteps guide the way. For the greatest act of courage is to serve when others stray. May we kneel the way you kneeled, with devotion pure and bright. For the warrior who kneels to serve is the warrior of the light, and the God who strengthened Moroni strengthens all who choose the right. The higher the road, the Redeemer so will lift the hands that falter, and will rise when others fall. For the Savior of all nations, knelt the lowest of them all. He stood within the doorway, where the shadows kissed the sun. A warrior carved by countless storms, a captain never undone. Yet all the battles he had fought, all the nights he'd knelt to pray, felt worth the scars upon his soul when he watched the children play. For peace is not the absence of the wounds a man must bear, it's the joy that rises softly when he finds the children safe out there. The victory only heaven sees. We stood and breathed in sunlight, let his armor rest a while. For no trophy ever lifted matched the gift of a child's smile. Oh, Moroni, righteous captain, with your heart so fierce and true, teach us why the greatest battles are the ones we fight for those we love. Let the world remember mercy in the God who strengthened you. The weight and worth of courage, he'd marched through fire and fury, held the standard high in storms, but now he watched the little ones in their innocent dancing forms. A quiet tear fell in his heart, not of sorrow but of grace, for he knew the Lord had heard his cries and had sheltered this holy place. For God defends his people when they choose the narrow way, and the pure in heart inherit every peace for which we pray. The victory only heaven sees. We stood and breathed in sunlight, let his armor rest a while. For no trophy ever lifted matched the gift of a child's smile. Oh, Moroni, righteous captain, with your heart so fierce and true, teach us why the greatest battles are the ones we fight for those we love. Let the world remember mercy in the God who strengthened you. The sunset covenant, you whisper, Lord, protect them when my watchful eyes are gone. Let angels camp beside them till the morning's gentle dawn. And heaven felt his plea that day, a prayer no pride could pray, the plea of one who gave his life to guard their right to play. A warrior's quiet praise, so he lingered in the doorway, blessing every laugh and song, for he knew that God had granted what he'd fought for all along. Oh, Moroni, blessed captain, let your legacy remain. Let the mighty bravest men in battle are the gentlest in the rain. Teach our hearts to fight like heaven. Teach our spirits how to stay till we kneel beside our Savior in eternal fields of play. The road of burdens ends. The sun was slowly setting on a weary, dusty road. A mother stood there stranded with her little family's load. Their wagon wheel lay broken and the journey felt too long, when a shadow moved beside them, silent, steady, firm and strong. A warrior clad in armor, knelt to meet their earthly need, and the might of ancient battles bowed and service bowed indeed. For the greatest of all warriors aren't the ones who conquer lands, but the ones who lift the helpless with their gentle servant hands. When a warrior bends to serve, oh, Moroni, mighty Captain, how your mercy teaches men that the mightiest hearts in battle learn to kneel and serve again. When you fix the broken wagon, lifting burdens not your own, every covenant you cherished in that moment brightly shone. For the warrior who bends to serve is the one heaven calls its own. Little eyes that watch, the children watched in wonder as he tightened spoke in a wheel, and they felt a warmth inside them that no sword could ever seal. Their mother whispered softly with a tear that shone like gold, for the Lord has sent a helper as he did in days of old. And Moroni spoke no sermon, yet his actions testified that the God who guards his children walks with angels at his side. For the bravest hearts show kindness, and the strongest souls are kind, and the warriors God remembers are the ones who heal mankind. When a warrior bends to serve, oh, Moroni, mighty Captain, how your mercy teaches men that the mightiest hearts in battle learn to kneel and serve again. When you fix the broken wagon, lifting burdens not your own, every covenant you cherished in that moment brightly shone. For the warrior who bends to serve is the one heaven calls its own. Lessons learned from his life teach us courage born of kindness, teach us strength that lifts the weak, teach us how the Lord shows power in the humble and the meek, teach us how to bear each burden, how to lighten others' load, how to serve along the roadside as we walk our mortal road. For the mark of heaven's warriors is the love they choose to give, and the Lord exalts the servant who helps weary hearts to live. For the warrant of compassion, oh, Moroni, chosen Captain, still your footsteps bless the land. Not with violence, not with thunder, but with mercy close at hand. May we stand as you have stood, with compassion bright and true. For the warrior who kneels to serve is the warrior God renews, and the wheel you lifted gently is the heart He lifts in you. He walked the road with them, so we'll lift the tired traveler, help the broken rise again. For the God who strengthened Roll and I still sends warriors among men. Into the green darkness, the leaves dripped heavy silence. The night held its breath tight, but Moroni moved in quiet steps through shadows thick as night. A knife within his calloused hand, a prayer within his soul. For every inch of jungle held the lives he vowed to hold. For God walks with the watchful, and His whisper guides the brave. No darkness ever conquered what the covenant came to save. The keeper of the living, so we walk through the shadows with the fire of Zion's light. A captain forged in holiness, a guardian of the night. Oh, Moroni, righteous leader, teach our trembling hearts to see that the bravest souls in battle are the ones who fight unseen. Keep our homes, keep our children, as you walk the dark for me. The vigilance of the pure, His breath was steady thunder. His eyes cut through the green, He knew the wicked gathered close. Where fear was often seen, but purity became His shield. Obedience was His blade, and angels walked beside Him. Where the jungle shadows swayed, for truth is born in silence, and courage grows in prayer. A warrior's strength is deeper than the battles that he bears. The keeper of the living, so we walk through the shadows with the fire of Zion's might. A captain forged in holiness, a guardian of the night. Oh, Moroni, righteous leader, teach our trembling hearts to see that the bravest souls in battle are the ones who fight unseen. Keep our homes, keep our children, as you walk the dark for me. The title of liberty in the dark, He whispered, Lord, remember them. The rising generation, guide my steps through hidden paths, to shield this holy nation. In heaven heard His sacred vow, a covenant He'd keep. For Moroni fought in silence while His people dreamed in sleep. A warrior after God's own heart, so He moved through living shadows, like a storm too just to flee. A soldier led by heaven into dark eternity. Oh, Moroni, holy captain, let your legacy remain, that the mightiest men of promise walk through shadows without shame. Teach our hearts to trust the whisper, teach our spirits how to be. For the God who walked beside you still walks these nights with me. smoke torn for heaven. The sky was filled with thunder, and the world was gripped with fear. Yet a warrior stood in courage as the storm clouds gathered near. He tore his cloak in silence, raised a banner to the sky, and the heavens seemed to tremble as he gave his solemn cry.
For our families and our freedoms,
For our God who lights the way, I will stand against the darkness that would take your peace away. At his feet a child lay sleeping in the comfort of the land, unaware that all her safety rested on this warrior's stand. The warrior who fought for her peace, oh Moroni, mighty captain, how your courage shook the earth. For you raised the title of liberty to defend the children's worth. You stood tall when fear surrounded. You stood firm when hearts would fail, and the banner that you lifted made the hosts of evil pale. Oh, the warrior who fought for her peace made the darkness sweep and wave. A prayer in the wind began to carry every word he wrote that day, like a promise carved in heaven that no tyrant could betray. In remembrance of our families, in remembrance of our God, and the ground beneath him strengthened, where the covenant warriors trod. That child beneath the banner rested softly in the shade, for her guardian stood watching with the strength her father prayed. He would fight for every daughter, every son, and every home, for the Lord had shaped his spirit with a courage made of stone. The warrior who fought for her peace, oh Moroni, mighty captain, how your courage shook the earth. For you raised the title of liberty to defend the children's worth. You stood tall when fear surrounded. You stood firm when hearts would fail, and the banner that you lifted made the hosts of evil pale. Oh, the warrior who fought for her peace made the darkness sweep and wave. Lessons from the captain's life teach us faith that never falters, teach us hearts that never yield, teach us how to raise our banners on the modern battlefield, teach us courage born of heaven, teach us truth that will not bend, teach us how to guard our children till their storms come to an end. For the greatest mark of heroes is the love for those they shield, and the Lord exalts the warrior who refuses to retreat the field. A covenant raised to the sky, Moroni, chosen captain, still your banner waves today, calling hearts to stand for freedom, calling saints to guard the way. May we lift what you have lifted, may we rise as you once rose. For the warrior who fights for children is the one the Father chose, and the child beneath your banner is the future heaven knows. The flag, the child, the covenant. So we'll take the cloth of courage and we'll raise it high again. For the God who strengthened Moroni still defends the hearts of men. A hero in a modern street, the buses roared like thunder. The morning rushed ahead, but a warrior stood at the crosswalk with a mantle glowing red. arm was raised in power, his eyes were fierce and kind. For every child who crossed that day had heaven on their side. For God still sends his captains to the places fear would roam, and the battles he inspires now are the ones that guard our homes. When a captain held the sign, so he lifted up the stop sign like the title of liberty, a symbol telling darkness it had no right to cross that street. Oh, Moroni, mighty captain still defending tender hearts, teach us how to stand for safety when the danger tries to start. Let our courage rise like fire, let the world see who we are. A covenant in the crosswalk, 3 children walked beside him, their laughter light as dawn. And Moroni smiled softly, for the war for them was won, not by blades or battlefield, but by vigilance and grace. For some victories are given by the peace within a place. For heaven guards the faithful when their leaders walk with God, and every step the children take is hallowed where he trod. When a captain held the sign, so he lifted up the stop sign like the title of liberty, a symbol telling darkness it had no right to cross that street. Oh, Moroni, mighty captain still defending tender hearts, teach us how to stand for safety when the danger tries to start. Let our courage rise like fire, let the world see who we are. A modern parable of faith, Stocky cried to every danger. Not one child shall fall today, and heaven echoed in his stance as angels lined the way. For righteousness still shields the young, it always has, it will, whenever leaders rise like him to guard the Lord's goodwill. The miracle of every day, so he stood in morning sunlight on a simple painted line, a warrior from the ancient world with the sacred modern sign. Oh, Moroni, holy captain, let your legacy remain, that the greatest acts of courage still protect through gentle flame. Teach our hearts to walk beside you, teach our spirits how to be the defenders of God's children in the world they daily see. A cry across the battlefield, the earth began to tremble as the armies gathered near, and a shadow crossed the valley, filled with trembling, filled with fear. But upon the ancient ramparts, with a fire in his stride, stood a captain forged in covenants, with the Lion of God inside. He raised his fist to heaven, and he roared with holy flame, and the darkness shook in terror at the power of his name.
For the Lord had shaped his spirit with a courage fierce and true.
And when Moroni gave the signal, every faithful heart withdrew. When the captain roared, oh, Moroni, mighty warrior, how your voice split earth and sky, as you stood against the darkness with a fire none could deny. You cried freedom for your people, you cried justice for the land, and the roar that left your spirit made the hosts of evil stand. Oh, the day the captain roared, all of Zion took command. A leader had silence, hearts ignited by his call. For the captain who defended them would not let their courage fall. For their families, for their children, for the covenants they bore, he would fight with heaven's thunder and return to peace once more.
And the Lord looked down with favor on the warrior he had crowned.
For a heart so pure, so fearless, could not be held to ground.
He had vowed to guard the helpless.
He had sworn to stand for truth, and his roar became the anthem for the aged and the youth. When the captain roared, "O Moroni, mighty warrior, how your voice split earth and sky. As you stood against the darkness with a fire none could deny, you cried freedom for your people, you cried justice for the land, and the roar that left your spirit made the hosts of evil stand. Oh, the day the captain roared, all of Zion took command. Lessons from his life teach us hearts that never falter, teach us faith that never dies, teach us voices born of heaven that will silence all the lies. Teach us strength to lift the weary, teach us courage in the fray, teach us how to roar for freedom when the night won't break away.
For the battles we are fighting aren't just fought with sword or spear,
but with truth, resolve, and mercy. When the storms of life draw near, that eternal roar of Zion. Oh, Moroni, chosen captain, still your voice fills every land, and your roar becomes our anthem as we rise to make our stand. May our hearts be firm as mountains, may our courage burn like yours. For the captain who roared for Zion, still through every age endures. And the day you raised your voice, still behind all heaven soars. His roar lives in us, so we'll lift our voices boldly. When the night grows fierce and long, for the God who strengthened Moroni still gives Zion strength in song. The bench of quiet wisdom, a quiet city morning, a bench beneath the trees, a boy with sketchbook trembling as he captured memories. But the hand that once raised banners in storms of fire and fear reached out in gentle guidance, saying, "Son, the truth is here." For a warrior is not measured by the battles he has won, but by how he teaches courage to the hearts of younger ones. The legacy of a captain, so we sat beside the artist in the shadows of the day, showing lines of holy purpose, guiding dreams along the way. Oh, and I, mighty captain, let your wisdom shape us too. Help our hands draw strength and mercy, help our lives defend what's true. Teach the world that every warrior starts like you. The sketch of destiny. The boy drew horse and rider, not just armor or a spear, but the fire of sacred duty in a face both bold and clear. Moroni smiled softly, for he knew the art revealed a heart that God could strengthen, a soul that he could shield. For the Lord inspires creation, and he speaks in many forms, through a drawing, through a vision, through a whisper in the storms. The legacy of a captain. So he sat beside the artist in the shadows of the day, showing lines of holy purpose, guiding dreams along the way. Oh, Moroni, mighty captain, let your wisdom shape us too. Help our hands draw strength and mercy, help our lives defend what's true. Teach the world that every warrior starts with someone just like you. A calling past like fire, lift your eyes, the captain whispered. Let your heart become your guide, for the world will need your courage when I'm no longer at your side. The boy felt heaven shiver as the words sank deep within, a mantle placed in silence for the battles yet to begin. The artist and the warrior, so the boy drew truth and valor, drew a future brave and kind, for the captain left his legacy in the corners of his mind. Oh, Moroni, holy leader, let your voice forever stay, teaching artists, hearts and heroes how to rise in God's own way. Lead our hands, lead our spirits, lead the children who will be free. For the world still needs its warriors, and you're still teaching quietly. When the strongest man sat down, Captain Moroni, and the war you never see. I thought strength was iron in my hands, and courage was never bending. Then I saw a warrior set his sword aside to listen to a breaking heart. He wore scars like armor, eyes shaped by war and prayer, but he knelt beside the weary, like the battle led him there. Not every enemy carries a blade, some hide inside the soul, and the bravest thing a man can do is stay when he wants to go. He said, you're not weak for feeling pain, you're still worth defending. So when the strongest man sat down, the heavens leaned in close. No banner flew, no trumpet cried, just mercy wrapped in hope. This is the war that saves a life, this is the victory unseen. Captain Moroni didn't raise a sword, he chose to strengthen me. He once raised a title of liberty, for faith, for home, for peace. But here he guards a single soul from the war that never sleeps. He knew the cost of standing firm and the price of walking alone. So he sat beside the broken and called their burden his own. When the strongest man sat down, the heavens leaned in close. No banner flew, no trumpet cried, just mercy wrapped in hope. This is the war that saves a life. This is the victory unseen. Captain Moroni didn't raise a sword. He chose to strengthen me. Not all wounds are from the battlefield. Not all courage roars. Sometimes righteousness sounds like I'm here. Tell me more. When the strongest man sat down, God's power filled the space, because defending hearts and homes is how the faithful fight with grace. This is the war worth giving all. This is the stand we take, to lift the weary, guard the soul for Christ, for truth.